Hello, and welcome to Tech Cubicle on SAP. I'm Daryl Griffiths, and this is my weekly 180 where I spend 180 seconds on the latest techie news that impacts the world of SAP. At the end, I'll pick my favourite to review in a little more detail in the cubicle. In my SAP techie news this week, a case study published by AWS discusses how SAP Concur migrated over 85,000 SQL Server databases to AWS in 8 months. SAP Concur is the SaaS solution for managing expenses, invoices and travel to over 65,000 SAP customers across the world. The case study explains the reason for the move, along with some cost implications during the project. I've put the link in the description down below. In Microsoft Azure, the cost of HANA database workload backups has been reduced. The release article states that the instance fee, a scaled charge that is usually linked to the size of the HANA database, will be fixed at $80 no matter the size of the HANA database. Previously, the charge would have been an initial fee plus then additional fees for every 500 gig of database tenant size being backed up. I'm not able to work out if the new fixed fee only applies to East US regions, since the documentation says East US 2, but on price list it says fixed fee on other regions' prices, so I'm wondering if the article is just using East US 2 as an example. Hopefully that will be rolled out to other regions. The link is in the description down below. The Register this week has a news item on Asda Supermarket's £21 million stock mismatch. The article says that the mismatch exists between the non-SAP warehouse solution, Manhattan Active Warehouse Management, and the SAP S4 HANA system. Over 2 months, the closing stock reports showed the mismatch, which is said to have affected 10 million items. The article then goes on to provide a recap of Asda's SAP S4 HANA implementation as part of a divulgence from parent company Walmart. There are initial project issues, and this latest problem just goes to highlight how complex these projects really are. October the 8th is the start of SAP TechEd 2024. This year is another virtual TechEd with the keynote and sessions available online, but it also includes a number of in-person physical events known as SAP TechEd On Tour, to be held over the remainder of 2024 and into 2025. The in-person events are designed to provide a deeper dive or swoop with in-person learning experiences. The keynote kicked off with a problematic link from the main SAP TechEd page, forcing people to scramble over to YouTube to watch it. The other sessions were available on demand 24 hours after broadcast and can be reviewed from the session catalogue. With track subjects including application development, AI, data analytics, digital transformation with cloud ERP, integration and SAP BTP, there were over 100 sessions available. The link is in the description down below. Finally, Onapsis provide an SAP Patch Day October 2024 roundup. The highlights section provides a good summary, 12 new and updated SAP security patches released, including 1 hot news and 3 high priority notes. SAP Enterprise Project Connection gets patches for Log4j, which is really old now. Patches have been released for additional software component versions. I've put the link into the LinkedIn article down below. My favourite item this week is SAP Concur's 85,000 SQL Server Database Migrations. For anyone not aware of how SQL Server works, it is a multi-tenanted database system, which means that one instance can host more than one database. This might help frame the actual count of servers involved in this migration, since the technical limit of tenants is 32,767, but it is likely that this is not achievable in reality. Instead, we could probably assume something like 5,000 to 10,000 databases per instance, which means a total of about 9 servers, plus maybe a secondary for high availability, so 18 servers, then some disaster recovery servers, so we add another 9, total of about 27 servers for these shared instances. The article does mention some tenant-specific, and I'm going to say these are dedicated instances to specific customers. So these will likely be pairs of servers for each of those customers. I'm going to over-exaggerate and say between 25 and 50 dedicated customer instances. Therefore, we could make a guess and say between 50 and 100 servers, including 27 shared instance servers. It doesn't sound as big as 85,000, does it? The next thing to understand is that this migration is just migrating the servers that are running SQL Server. It is not moving from SQL Server to another database platform. SAP said the driver for this project was to concentrate less on managing infrastructure and scaling through physical data centers. The new AWS servers are hosted across 4 different AWS regions and is suggested to reduce TCO by 72%. One item mentioned in the article is the use of the AWS Optimization and Licensing Assessment, AWS OLA, which has a specific scope for SQL Server on Windows. The AWS OLA works by analysing the existing landscape, calculating the existing workload requirements, and providing an optimal target AWS infrastructure solution. This would also include consolidation of database instances and validating SQL Server feature usage with the aim of reducing license costs of both Windows and SQL Server, as well as optimizing the infrastructure as a service server count. One thing I find interesting with this article is effectively it's a lift and shift. It's going from on-premise or some other data centers into AWS. They're not changing the platform. It's the same SQL Server databases, but with a tweak to the licensing and maybe some consolidation in there as well. Maybe this article does go to show that moving to cloud is actually cheaper.
You cannot be serious!
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
As always, reference links are in the description down below. Drop me a comment, give the video a thumbs up, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Say when, Frank.
When?